Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Do Something. The purpose of the series has always been to introduce viewers, especially those still sitting on the sidelines, to as many different ways to become involved in social or political activism beyond the traditional phone calls and postcards, and to illustrate how fun activism can be. Yes, fun activism can be fun. So today's guest is Cheryl Auger, who is just an extraordinary activist, but is also the owner of My Zero Waste Store in Pasadena, where you can bring your own containers and refill a range of household item products to household products and hair and body care essentials. And it enables you to reduce plastic waste and embrace sustainable living. But Cheryl, as I mentioned, is also an amazing activist, and she has also created a way for everyone to do something while engaging in activities that you already enjoy doing, like retail therapy. I mean, who doesn't enjoy shopping, right? And dining out. Make that a double, please. So let's talk to Cheryl and find out how shopping and dining out can be activism. Hello, Cheryl.
Good. That I love my business because of certainly its mission. I opened during COVID because uh, all of a sudden the places where I could get bulk food and bring back my own containers, all of a sudden I couldn't do that anymore. We've been able to save, as of January 4th of last year, we were able to save 10 million pieces of plastic from being made or becoming a pollutant. So
That's
I
fantastic.
think there's so much to be said for this type of business.
Well, and everybody has heard of the island of
Mm, right.
garbage in the ocean
Right.
that's forming, and
Five
at least
gyres.
this is one way of reducing the impact of that, of reducing our contribution to that big island of junk, and mostly plastic, actually.
Right. And also marketing, right? Like
Mhm.
we are the pawn of the big marketing minds. And once you realize, no, you don't need a different soap or, for your personal care, you don't need, shampoo, there's shampoo and body bars combined there. You don't need different cleaners for this or that. You can use Castile soap. It just I just feel like my life is cleaner without less things or
Well,
less
and
cluttered.
simplifying, right? So it just I just realized that activism can happen shopping at your store. If you're into environmental, if you're
Mhm.
into simplifying and deplasticifying, if that were a word, um, one of the ways you could do it is by shopping at a place like your store, and that would be something that it would be a shift in what you already do, not a complete change in habit. So you already have the plastic containers. You may as well use them and reuse them
Right.
because
And
plastic never
reuse them.
goes
Right.
away, right? Yeah.
1,000 times. Yes. It takes a lot of time to be a conscientious shopper, but yeah, my store takes all the guesswork out of that. It's
I wanted to just mention that you are such a passionate advocate for social justice, and we had to postpone our this interview because you were on your way to support somebody who'd just been arrested under false pretenses. That is another level of activism that at some point we'll talk about, but that is also a commitment that not everybody's willing to make. But however, shopping and dining out is. So why don't you tell me what it is, who benefits, how you thought of it, and then we'll get into how people can participate.
ever since ICE kind of hit our city, which was the June 6th, they started detaining, like taking people off the street. It was horrible. Ever since that day, which is June 6th, the fashion district in downtown Los Angeles and all businesses, my business included, we had like a 50% drop between June 6th and mid-July in sales. As of that moment, they became terrified to show up to work. Um, and customers didn't want to go there either because they're afraid to be detained as well. There's a man, Marquez, he goes by East Los Marquez on Instagram. He started a program where we would go to each of the vendors. There's a lot of them there,
Mhm.
and so
Yes.
we would go to each one, give them instructions, give them whistles, And the instructions specifically, like if you see ice, start tweeting.
Hmm.
So our first few weeks, we started out giving out whistles as instructions, and then it became obvious that store owners were hurting because like they pay like one woman I spoke to pays 14,000 for probably a 2,000 square foot space on in Santee Alley. Since June 6th, she was only having one or two sales a day, so if you're making $100 a day, that's $3,000 a month.
Yeah,
Um,
nowhere near enough.
Nowhere near enough.
So tell me
So
a little bit about the types of stores that are in Santee Alley.
so gorgeous. I don't know if you know La Muerta Maria, but she gets all of her Day of the Dead outfits there. That she every day she's out in a different costume. So
Hmm.
it's the quinceañera ball dresses that are just so gorgeous, and there's
Yeah.
wedding dresses, and there's shoes, and there's every single thing you could use.
Is
Wallets.
it mostly attire, or are there different types of
Oh, and electronics and gold.
so there's
It's
something for everybody.
In fact, I was thinking tomorrow I'm going to the No Kings March, and I was like,
Well,
oh, I'd love to
maybe,
look
yeah.
like yeah, like I was thinking a colonial woman. Maybe they have consider a colonial type looking outfit. So
Okay, so let's talk about how is there an organized way or is there a curated tour down to Santee Alley or how does this work?
So we're working on rent retrieval, and that's a very formalized. We meet at 10 and at 12, and then we just spread out in groups and start talking to people, get the paper signed, get that all collected, and then also speak with council members. And so that is all organized by East Los Marquez on Instagram, or people could just reach out to me and I can
Hmm.
help them get involved. And the other way, of course, like just organizing with your friends. Like organizing with your friends. I was just like, some friends wanted to go out. I hadn't seen them in a long time. I'm like, well, let's try something in the fashion district. We found this amazing restaurant called Roso's or something. And it was amazing. Like I was shocked I had never heard of it before.
So just to be clear,
Shopping
there
and
is no
eating.
formalized group to say, hey, today we're going to go out to taste this new restaurant down in downtown,
No,
but
it's
somebody could organize that.
somebody could organize that.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because this is the other thing is that a lot of the stores are going out of business and they're having steep sales. So it's going to be very sad because it's going to be a big cultural shift if we don't have this dynamic environment that, has musicians and, all of the street vendors and just a really old world feeling to it.
For those of you who don't know, Santee Alley is sort of like the epicenter. It's sort of like a swap meet meets fashion district meets culinary experiences. So it is definitely an adventure, and especially now because it's endangered. But highly recommended. It's a lot of fun. It's a little bit like going to a museum, even if you're not in the shopping mode. And dining. I will list in the notes. I list some great restaurants, including the ones Cheryl mentioned, that are in the neighborhood that also may be in danger of closing because not enough people are going. So, yeah.
And also the rules are really lax there. Like I was in the middle of doing my job, my volunteer stuff, and then all of a sudden I saw two guys walk by with one had a beer in his hand and one had like an alcoholic beverage, like a margarita or something in his hand. And I'm like, oh, how like, well, where'd you get those? And
Yeah.
they were just waiting for their time, I guess their reservation to come up. So they're walking around with their drinks.
Oh, I
Just
love it. Yeah,
yeah, it's casual.
it is. It's casual down there. Well, Cheryl, you are an inspiration in terms of I think your gift is to look around you and see ways that you can help that are not traditional. And we are so fortunate to have people like you on our side and working on behalf of everyone, honestly. Cheryl,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for your time, and thank you all for joining us this excellent episode of Shopping and Retail Therapy and Dining to Save Democracy. See you next time, and don't forget to like and share and subscribe. Shopping and dining are no risk actions.